initiative that aims to provide a low-code theming experience for Drupal. So for the next 50 minutes, you will have 2 French speakers for the price of 1. So here is Pierre. He's a project director at Smile, a French IT company specialized in open source technologies. And myself, Michael, pre-sales engineer at AODB, a French group of companies specialized in Drupal. So our talk today will be divided in 5 parts. I will take care of the introduction, presenting our objective and motivation. I will also conclude the presentation by presenting all the implementations we have done to date and our future needs. And Pierre will deep dive into our approach, the solution, and technical examples. So let's start. So here we are pushing open doors, but it's important for us to make a statement about why we love Drupal. So I think I'm not wrong by saying that everyone here loves Drupal, and if it's not the case, just please don't raise your hand because it could be dangerous. So we all love Drupal because it's a great software and one of the best CMS in the market, and we can love it for many reasons. So we wanted to list it what was important for us. So the first one is that Drupal is open source, of course. Second one is that Drupal is free, and it's getting more and more rare today as many web solutions are heading towards hybrid licensing models, which means that when you want to have full features, you have to pay. The third one is that Drupal has a great community, one of the biggest in the world and one that is inclusive. The fourth one is that Drupal has a unique architecture with great concepts. Fifth one, Drupal is flexible and you can do many things with it. And last but not least, and it's important for us, is that Drupal is low code, which means that you can do so much without producing line of code. So we love Drupal, and it's even more true when you look at it with an expert point of view. So here we didn't make much effort as we reproduced a chart that Dries presented at DrupalCon Amsterdam 2019. And we won't deep dive too much into the comparison between other CMS, as it's not the point today. What's important for us is to outline that Drupal adoption is getting harder when you are intermediate user, and it's getting even more difficult when you are a beginner. So our main objective with UI Suite and our low-code theming approach is to ease this adoption for intermediate and beginner users, so that you get a straight line that is more flatter or flatter. Just excuse my English. So let's have a look at Drupal site building capabilities regarding 3 main topics. So we have content modeling, business rules, and display. So regarding content modeling, you can do so much thing in a low-code manner with Drupal. You can create unlimited content types, you can configure unlimited fields, you can create taxonomies, menus, blocks, paragraphs, and so on. Regarding business rules, you can also do so much in a low-code manner. You can configure unlimited text formats, create image styles, do complicated queries with views, you can declare workflows, email notification, you can create roles, configure permissions, and so on. But regarding display, the limit is reached really fast, as there are often too much specific things regarding design. So our conviction is that when it's simple and it has medium complexity, it has to be seed buildable. So our motivation is to fill the gap and make this part seed buildable like others.
2 speakers, 1 mic. Yes, we can use two mics. So I will describe the approach we took. We believe design system is a way to go because a design system is a system. A content management system like Drupal is a system too. So we can make a system communicate with the system. So what is a design system? Design system, it's a design which is described, which is structured to be understandable by automatism. It's not a design like when you are designing a page, a mock-up, and that's all, and then you need to implement it. It's a design where you have parts which are defined by clear standards, and those parts they can also be processed. So what are the parts of the design system? You can have a lot of stuff in the design system, but the most important, the most common, are the component, the styles, the layout, and some example pages. So the components are sometimes called pattern, and there are those units of UI elements like card, button, slider, menu, and sometimes they have variant. For example, for a card, you can have a wide card, a small card, a compact card. I continue like a pro, even if nothing is happening. Okay, give us 1 minute. It's okay, it's okay. Mm. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's a bit blurry, and we have code to show, so let's try another one. Yeah, I don't know how to make better. Okay, let's continue like that. At least it's not blinking, and it's more comfortable for most of us. So in a design system, you have components. Sometimes we call that pattern and variants. We have styles. A style, it's something you can apply to anything. You can apply a style to a component variant, to a component field. For example, styles can be the color palette, it can be the shadow, the typography, the iconography. And we have a layout system which is based on rules, sometimes complicated rules, for responsive, wrapping rules. And today, they are most of the time grid-based. And also example pages, we tend to forget about them, but if you see any design system public, example pages are a big part of them because they show what we can do with them. So implementing design system can be easy. Maybe you are already familiar with storybooks, with pattern labs. Maybe you already know how to do presenter template to link your design system with your Drupal. So there is nothing new about design system. What is new and what we want to show you, it's the design system can be the base for something we can seed build, something we can manipulate from the back office. So we did a quest. Last 3 years, last 5 years, we looked for module. We will cover the 4 parts of the design system we show to you, components, style, layers, and example, and which allow to implement any design system in a single place, the Drupal theme, because the Drupal theme is reusable in many projects by the front dev or the front dev team. So no PHP, no too much Drupalism. And you know what? We found it. We found the module we were looking for, and now we are able to have a system called UI Suite, where the front development team is implementing fully the design system on the theme. And this implementation, without any effort, of course, there is an effort in the implementation because they need to describe with YAML files what they are doing. Doing the CSS, doing the JavaScript and the markup is not enough. We need some describe in YAML. But once they did that, automatically, everything they do is provided as configurable plugins for Drupal to attach to config entities in the back office. So you know the plugins, view formatters, layout, figure formatters, views plugins. And they are also provided to the back developer as render element. So this is the 4 modules. For component, we choose UI pattern. UI pattern is already kind of known. Dries did a tweet about that 2 years ago. And UI pattern has a huge ecosystem. We will have a look on it. For the style utilities, we choose UI styles. For layouts, layout option. And for UI example, UI examples. So those, you can see on the yellow box, all those modules expect YAML file from the theme. And all those modules are providing plugins for different Drupal parts like layout builder, manage display, views, flags, blocks, you name it. So UI pattern and layout option will be special because it exists. UI pattern is 5 years old. It's come from Belgium. So congratulations to Belgium. It's a company from Brussels called New Volley. And layout option come from this contributor, CG Monroe. And those 2 modules were fitting on it. For styles, an example, we did it. It's a module we created for this initiative. Just let's have a look on the UI pattern ecosystem. So it's complicated, but you don't need to, of course, to read everything. I just want you to see 2 things in this slide. First, there is a lot of modules of UI pattern, a lot of modules in Drupal.org. Module to publish patterns as field formatters, as view styles, as entity links, as blocks, a lot of them. But what is very interesting, it's this narrow waist we have, this X shape. That means here we are implementing any kind of component, like cards, menu, slider, and we don't know. The front developer, he doesn't know what will be the use of this component. He just say, this is a card. I implemented a card. I implemented a menu, a button, this variant of button. And then any of those components can become any of those plugins. So a same button can be used as a view pager or a fee formatter. A same card can be used as a fee formatter, a view rows plugin, or a layout plugin. And we will have a look on that. And before diving into code and example, let's finish on the theory. This UI Suite mechanism is inversing what we expect from a workflow. The classic theming, you know it, seed builders and back developers are working, they are producing Drupal objects, and they providing markup, template naming, template structure, CSS selector, to the front developer who want to then to use that to implement the design. And if something is changing on the back office, we need to change it again on the theme. UI Suite is reversing this. It's inversing this. Now, the front developer is becoming a design provider. He's implementing the design system fully, and from his work, we have configurable plugins and render elements who are provided to the back developer and the seed builder. So it's totally an inversion of the paradigm. Let's go technical, because it was not technical until now. So everything fit in the team. You remember, I told you, it was one of the main goals. We need to have the full design system implementation in only one place, and a place we can reuse. In our project, I worked for my company, as you see. We have projects for some clients. A single theme, it's used in many different websites because it's business agnostic. And the business is implemented only on the seed building and the back development. So this theme is organized like that. You have stuff about the patterns. It's free. You can organize the build like you want. But what is very nice is to put each pattern in a folder. I have the breadcrumb pattern, button, card pattern, and inside I put my YAML, my twig, my CSS, my JS, my images, everything over here. For the styles, there is a specific YAML file. We will have a look later. For the example, there is a specific YAML file too. And for layout options, there is 2 YAML files. I will explain the reason later. So once we know what to put in the theme to have a design system, let's have a look of the content of the files. Let's implement a component. This is the alert component from Bootstrap. Maybe some people recognize it. So this is the YAML file the front developer has created. So you know the front developer, okay, it's Bootstrap. So of course, the front developer didn't write CSS and JS. But you can imagine it's not Bootstrap. It's your project, your design from mockup. So the front developer is writing the CSS, the JS, the twig, and he has only one step more to do. This step is the YAML file. So each YAML file is a plugin. So alert is creating a new plugin. It's a proxy plugin. That means you will not use it from back office. But this plugin will be able to generate all the other plugins. There is a label, there is a description, there is some metadata I didn't put here. You can have variant, you see, the variant here, primary, secondary, success. You can put a lot of them, it's nice. There is some fields. Fields are very interesting because fields, it's free content. When I told you, when we do component, we don't know what will be the use from Drupal, it's in fields. For example, if I take this component and I use it as a layout plugin, you know, heading and message will be region of the layout. I will be able to put block in the region. If I use it as a field formatter, heading and message will be field properties. If I use it as a field group formatter, it can be fields. So from this work, the front developer is only providing you powerful tools, and the back developer and seed builder are just to use the tool in the way they want. Settings is a bit like fields, but with controlled value. Boolean, list of values, some rule-based values. Of course, we need a twig. And this twig is just a normal Drupal twig, nothing special. We can see the fields were injected, like message, like the settings. We can see the attribute object with expected by Drupal to do some management. And the three first line is just a proposal of how to deal with variant. There is no rules. You deal with variant as you want, but this is a very useful snippet. This is an example. So we have a field formatter using button pattern with primary variant. And here I'm changing it to alert pattern, the component we've seen before. Up, it changed. Let's do it the other way. I took my field formatter. It's alert with success. I move to button to primary. Of course, I do the mapping. You see, this is the field properties. These properties will go there. This property will go there. I submit. And here I go. I use the pattern. I can do the same for many Drupal parts. For example, views. This is a view style plugin. The view plugin, as you see it now, it's button group, and the view rows pattern is button. So that's why you see the three button is hard to see, I know, but we will share the slide. The three button are grouped together. It's a part of Bootstrap system. And here, I switch to a grid row from Bootstrap using card. So this card is coming from a display, from the card display of the entity type, content entity type. But the button group is coming directly from the grid row. Anyway, it's the same. It's the same because everything was built in the back office, picking, assembling, configuring what was provided by the front developer. No custom code, no extra code, no pre-process, and everything. For the style, is the same. We have a YAML file. Every key, like shadow, is provided in a plugin. It's the same as pattern. This plugin, you will not use it in back office. It's like an internal proxy plugin. But it will be used in plugin generation. You have the option. Option, it's you pick only one, because you can't have, for example, two colors. You can't have two kind of shadow. You have to pick. And the previewed with is only to have a nice preview, because I didn't tell you, but for everything you have pages, to like library pages for the catalog of the styles and components. So let's have a look how we implement that. So I mean, layout builder again. I use a lot layout builder because it's very easy to see. My album, my title as a success style. Up, I remove success style, and I put the success style again. So you can put styles in section layout, in block title and block content. And styles can be anything you want. You want a style to change the font, it will be a style to change the font. A style to change the padding and margin, it will change the padding and the margin. Let's go to layout. So now you know what I will tell you. I will tell you it's a YAML file, it's in the theme, it's controlled by the front dev. The front dev is a provider of layout. Same story. But this is a normal layout.yaml file, something you know already, something you use already on your theme, I guess. And maybe you know there is a big issue in this YAML file. If you do that, your YAML will not be configurable. To have some configurable layout, something you can manipulate from the back office easily, you need to implement as a class. Because only the annotated class discovery is allowing configurable layout. And it's a big issue. We need to configure layout. For example, we need to configure the responsive behavior. What will happen with small screen, with wide screen? We need to configure the line wrapping behavior. What will happen if we have more columns than expected by the grid? We need to configure the gutter management. Internal gutter, external gutter, no gutter, gutter alternance. So, and we need to do all this without PHP because we ask the teamer, the front developer, to do it. That's why we choose layout option. Layout option is adding a new YAML file. So you have two YAML files in your theme. And in this YAML file, you set what will be the settings. Of course, on your Twig template, you catch the value of the settings and you do whatever you want with that. Ah! Shit. I don't know how to change it. Ah, shit. I don't know. Yes. Don't look at the password. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's continue like that. So, this is an example of a layout management where we have a 6-6 layout with gutter, very classic, half-half, and we are moving to a 4-8 layout with no gutter. So you can see the gutter have disappeared, and now the second region is twice the size of the first region. And if you got a look here, you will see there is many settings in a container, without a container, number of calls by breakpoint. So it's very powerful. It's very powerful and it's very simple to implement from the theme. An example page is the same. It's from a YAML file on the theme. This one is a bit more complicated because it's render arrays, and it's always difficult to ask the front developer to write render arrays. So we are working in a new release to make the life of the front developer easier. But anyway, it's very nice because assembling components, assembling styles, assembling layouts, the exact same component styles and layouts you see before. You can build page like that, and so you can share with the users what your design system implementation can do. I talk a lot about the front developer, but there is also back developers. We don't need to forget them. For back developer, the life is easy because everything the front developer is doing is provided with easy to manipulate API. Like there is a Twig function to do the presenter template. Presenter template, just a quick note about this. It's a template where you don't put any markup in it. Why you would want to do that? Because not everything is buildable on Drupal backoffice. For example, if you want to change the look of the status message, the look of a menu, the look of the breadcrumb, there is no like render display page where you can manipulate the render display or the breadcrumb display. So what you can do easily is to take the breadcrumb.html.twig and do a call, direct call to the component made by the front developer. And for render arrays is the same. Every component, every pattern is now a new render array with very clean type pattern, ID, the pattern ID, variant if you have a variant, fields with every field exactly like described on the YAML, settings like described in the YAML. Of course, you can use the cache key, you can use the attach key, everything Drupal is providing is available. I want to share some love for the back developers because it seems that this technique is very focused on front development and seed building. All the example I'll show you is front dev doing a nice design system implementation and seed builders doing a powerful use of this implementation. In my team, some back dev told me, but what will be my job? They have a lot of job and a lot of quality tasks to do. We took too much time doing the glue between front and dev. I'm sure you remember all these pre-processes we did. Let's start with a 5-line pre-process, and then it's becoming a 20-line, 100-line pre-process. Let's do all this complex suggestion, like node, dash, dash, article, dash, dash, card, and then more template and more template and more template. It's crazy. It's very crazy. And there is this link between the business data model, the business structure, and the front. Why node, article, card? What if I have no card anymore? What I have a teaser? So what? No article, we change. It's not an editorial website anymore. Let's remove the article. Let's do product management. So this technique, UI Suite, it's also back dev focused. It allows back development to stop doing this, shitty glue. It's not shitty because of them, it's shitty because of the task. Shitty glue on the team, and to focus on delivering configurable plugins. Yes, they too, but more complex than the front developer. Clean code, powerful API, future-proof development, technical challenges and everything. And I can tell you, it's been 5 years I'm working like that. It's been 3 years I'm fully working like that. The back dev are very happy about that. Let's see an overview. It's just a page, Bootstrap page from Bootstrap 4 and 5. It's a full example page you can find on the bootstrap.com website. And what I want to show you is all the page was implemented with seed building. There is some views, there is some media display, some node display, there is a lot of plugins, some layouts, some formatter, some blocks plugin. It's a rich page. There is a real business data model beyond the page, so it's not fake at all, but no custom code. Everything built with what the front developer has provided. You love the cache box. Yeah, let's go.
Let's see all the implementation. So it will be close to 3 years that we started the initiative with Pierre. And in the meantime, other teammates joined our team. So we did 3 kinds of implementation during those 3 years. So we did some public open source design system implementations. We did private ones for clients, private company. And we also published a distribution. So maybe you can click.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. So the first 2 implementations were public design system, which were Bootstrap 4 and Material, the Google design system. You maybe
the Bootstrap you saw.
Yeah. And they were used to as a proof of concept of the initiative. And when that was validated, Pierre started to use it on real life project. So the first one was for LVMH, a famous luxury brand in France, and it's used on a web factory, internal web factory. I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, it's internal. Yeah.
Then he also used it for Sephora. Sephora is a makeup company, perfume, blah, blah, blah. And it's used on about 20 sites today. And actually, the design system has a name.
Yeah, it's fragrance. It's very good to name design system because a company can have many of them. For example, Microsoft or Lonely Planet have many of them. And because it makes your design system a real product you can promote.
Then another guy joined the team. It's Node. He's really known in the community. He's one of the core committer, member of the core team. And he published a Bootstrap, UI Suite Bootstrap demo distribution, which goal was to be published as a one-click demo on Simply Test Me. Actually, we achieved to do that in pre-production, and it's on hold today, but the objective is
He's a busy guy. He's a very busy guy. You know him, maybe.
Yeah. The objective is to allow you to test the initiative directly in a one-click demo. Then another guy joined our team. It's Grim Reaper. I advise you not to leave the room because he will be presenting Entity Share right after us.
Yeah, so stay in the room. Stay in the room. I will lock the door. Everybody stay.
So he started to use it on a real-life project also. So he did it for studies, French company specialized in digital training, and for Air Calin, a flight company. Then I did an implementation also for the French design system, the French government design system, which we use in our company as a distribution to build website for public organization. So we use it as a product. And Grim Reaper also started implementation of a public design system, which is Zurb Foundation, and it's in work in progress right now.
It's a big one, very big.
It's a big one. So it was this session was for us the opportunity to present the initiative, all the work done during those 3 years. And it's also important for us to present it to you because we want to invite you to help us as we have so much to do to make the initiative extend. So you can help us by trying all the modules and log issues. You can also contribute to the modules of the ecosystem. So there is the UI patterns, UI style, UI examples, but there are also others. You can help us by preparing for Drupal 10 also. Maybe you won't help us to publish UI Suite on Simply Test Me because we are going to do it. You can also help us by expanding the ecosystem, by publishing other modules so that we can use patterns for menus, styles in views, for examples. And of course, you can implement new design systems as a starter kit. So there is a small list of it. So you have Bootstrap 5, Material, UI Kit, which is part of WordPress ecosystem, and for example, Protocol, which is Mozilla One. So this is the URL of the project.
Yeah, you can come and see what's going on.
Give stars to the project.
Yeah, a lot of stars. A constellation of stars. So let's keep in touch. I hope we will see you again. I hope we will have questions, but also question after the talk. We are every evening taking beers with you. We go to the coffee machine all the time if you want to see us at the coffee machine. And on Friday, if you want to have like some workshop, maybe to understand, we can provide you some help, or maybe to help us and to contribute. You are all welcome on Friday. So this is our name. This is our Drupal.org nickname, and also we are registered on the Telegram. So you can contact us directly from the Telegram.
And thank you to you all, and thank you to all the organizers of this wonderful event. Anyone has questions?
Of course, many of them.
I have more than one if it's okay to you, but you can stop me when it's too many questions.
For me, it's okay. Huh? We can stay 1 hour more.
Well, but other people won't be so okay. The first question will be, no, it's a remark. You've just mentioned a demo with Simply Test Me. I know Olivaro uses Tugboat. It's another system. It could be an alternative. I have no idea if it's better or not.
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't benchmark the different demo system. We went from Simply Test Me as a default choice, and the demo was built as a installation profile, so maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, just for you. Maybe it's a silly idea, but could we compete with Wix so that people could build maybe simple websites, because everything happens. Maybe it's a stupid idea.
Yeah. Okay.
In the interface, and maybe it's not good for business. I don't know, but
it's not a silly idea.
But maybe it could be a good for Drupal to say Drupal is not so complicated. You can also do simple websites and provide services with it.
It's not a silly idea because it's our goal. What we want to target that. Today, when I'm teaching seed building to people, they are very excited. They do content modeling. Once they understood the entity type, okay, this is taxonomy term, this is node, this is media. Once they understood that, they are very excited. And they build the content model, the business model. Then they say, oh, I can do all this for business rules. I can do this notification system. I can do this workflow. I can do this query from views. It's crazy. Drupal is crazy. And then they go to display. And they reach a wall very, very fast. Very, very fast. Say, why I'm not able to do that? What I'm not doing that? Why? I download the theme from Drupal.org. But even with the theme I download, it doesn't fit with my data structure. Of course, because the theme doesn't know about your data structure. You know, every time you add or change the data structure, you need to change something on the theme. It's crazy. And this is a real issue on Drupal today. If we reverse it, if we do UI suite, if the seed builder is able to use what is in the theme instead of the theme painting what is seed buildable, we can reach this. And we can ask to the back developer to do custom code only for complex tasks. The demo I showed you about Bootstrap, I went to Medium. It was simple and Medium use case. No custom code. So this is the goal. It was not a stupid question.
All right, thanks. And the last question will be, so if I understood correctly, the YAML is written by the front-end dev.
Yes, that's right. The only extra task we ask to the front dev.
Right, so we need somebody able to do this.
Yes, but it's YAML or PHP. They have to choose. I think they will pick YAML. And you know, PHP plugins, unfortunately, they don't run from module, most of them. So from a sim, most of them.
Thanks.
You're welcome. What's the question here?
So I'm curious about, for example, the Bootstrap implementation. The Bootstrap already invites you to modify the SAS, the CSS variables, to customize it. How do you deal with that in the implementation?
Yes.
For the colors, for the typography?
That's a good question because we ask ourselves the question during the project. We decided to, for the implementation, to not play with the SAS variable. Because we took very easy. We took the Bootstrap already built from NPM. So it doesn't matter, in fact, because imagine you are building the UI Suite Bootstrap implementation, like we did. And you can use the primary color or the warning background color. I take colors because colors are easy to understand. We don't care if primary is blue. We don't care if warning is red. If you decide to rebuild your SAS file, rebuild your Bootstrap build with SAS, telling primary will be black and warning will be orange, it will don't change anything about what our implementation and what we will do with Drupal. So it fits. It's just two different tasks and for two different goals.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it would be helpful to build a Drupal interface to modify this variable.
Yeah. We can do. But it's not in the scope of UI Suite. But if someone does that, and maybe someone did that because there is wonderful Bootstrap
I have
tool.
an implementation. I will
Yeah,
show you one of these days.
Yeah. So what we can do is to be sure UI Suite and your implementation are compatible, but they are not targeting the same goals.
Perfect. Oh,
C'est fini? Okay. One question is finished.
Okay, yeah, thank you. You two asked all other my questions. Still on keeping, when you give clients so many options to choose from.
We don't provide client. To provide client, so you talk about the contributors, I guess, no?
Sorry?
You talk about the contributors, content contributors.
No. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Content editors.
So again, provided this to the contributors is not related to our project. Our project is to provide plugins. Okay, plugins are attached to config entities, so it's seed builders. But we know, of course, because we show so much example with layout builders. We like to show screenshots with layout builders. It's very graphical. It's very nice looking. And we know there is an option in the layout builders to override the layout. So layout builders can also be a contribution tool, content contribution tool. This decision that to push this to the contributor is not related to UI Suite. It's related to your layout builder strategy. Of course, because it's adding a lot of things in the builder, you have new field formatters, new layouts, new style you can put everywhere. Once you will click on this little button, the contributor will have even more choice to do. But those choices are already a lot, and it's already an issue with layout builder and an issue you can fix easily with a module like layout builder restriction or this kind of stuff. Layout builder restriction. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.